You know that feeling. It's 6 a.m. Your alarm goes off. You have big dreams, massive goals, and you genuinely want to achieve them. But your bed is warm, your pillow is comfortable, and that nagging voice in your head whispers, just 5 more minutes. Sound familiar? Here's the brutal truth nobody wants to hear. Ambition without action is just daydreaming in expensive shoes. You can visualize success all you want. You can create vision boards, write affirmations, and attend every motivational seminar on the planet. But if you're not willing to do the work, you're just lying to yourself with a better attitude. But here's what most people get wrong about laziness. They think it's a character flaw. They think it means you're unmotivated or weak. And that's exactly why they never fix it. Because they're attacking the symptom instead of the disease. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the real reason you're lazy, and more importantly, you're going to learn how to weaponize your ambition to overcome it. This is going to change everything. Let's start with something uncomfortable. You're ambitious and lazy. These two things shouldn't exist in the same person. Right, wrong. In fact, some of the most ambitious people in the world struggle with laziness. And there's actually a logical reason for this. When you're ambitious, your brain is constantly working in overdrive. You're thinking about what could be, what should be, what you want to become. You're running multiple scenarios in your head, planning future moves, visualizing success. Your mind is working hard, but your body is exhausted. Your brain consumed so much energy thinking that there's nothing left for doing. This is called analysis paralysis mixed with decision fatigue. You're making thousands of micro decisions every single day. What to wear, what to eat, what to work on first, what email to respond to. By the time you actually need to do deep, focused work, your decision-making capacity is depleted. So your brain does what it does best when it's tired. It chooses the path of least resistance, laziness. But here's where it gets interesting. Ambitious people also struggle with perfectionism, and perfectionism is the enemy of progress. You want everything to be perfect before you start. The timing has to be right. The conditions have to be ideal. You need to be in the right mood. You need all your resources lined up perfectly, so you wait, you delay. You procrastinate, and you disguise it as planning. The ambitious, lazy person also tends to overestimate how much they can do. You create these grandiose plans that would require 25 hours a day to complete. Then when you realize you can't do it all, you do nothing. You shut down, you procrastinate, because if you can't do it perfectly, why bother doing it at all? There's also another factor at play here, the illusion of progress. When you're ambitious, you read books about success. You listen to podcasts about productivity. You watch videos like this one, and your brain actually feels like you're making progress. It releases dopamine. It feels good. You feel like you're getting closer to your goals just by consuming information. So why do you need to actually do anything? The information itself feels like progress, but it's not. It's a sophisticated form of procrastination. The final piece of this puzzle is something called the intention, behavior gap. Research shows that people who think deeply about their goals and publicly declare them often do less work toward those goals than people who keep quiet and just grind. Why? Because announcing your goals gives your brain the same reward as achieving them. You get social validation. You get attention. Your brain thinks you've already won, so you relax. You procrastinate. If this is you, I need you to know something. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're actually incredibly smart, which is why your brain is so good at finding shortcuts and reasons not to do hard things. You just need to rewire the system. I want you to pause for a second. I want you to really think about this. Every single day you stay lazy is a day someone else is working toward your dream. Every single day you procrastinate is a day a competitor gets better. Every single day you choose comfort over growth, you're literally training yourself to be average. Think about it mathematically. If you improve just 1% every single day, in 1 year you're 37 times better. But here's the flip side. If you get 1% worse every single day, if you procrastinate, if you skip workouts, if you avoid hard conversations, if you delay important projects, in 1 year you're virtually incompetent. That's the power of consistency, and that's the trap you're in. Let me paint a picture for you. It's 10 years from now. You're sitting at your desk doing a job that doesn't fulfill you. You're making decent money, sure. You have the comfortable life, you're not struggling financially, but you're dying inside because 10 years ago you had dreams, you had ambition, you had the talent, but you didn't have the discipline. And now you're wondering what your life would have been if you just pushed through those early days when everything was hard and nothing felt comfortable. Worse, your kids are watching, your friends are watching, your partner is watching, and they're learning from you. They're learning that when things get hard, you quit. They're learning that comfort matters more than growth. You're literally passing down the generational curse of mediocrity. But it gets darker. The longer you stay lazy, the harder it becomes to start. Because you develop what's called a negative identity. You start telling yourself, I'm just a lazy person. That's who I am. And once your brain accepts that identity, it stops even trying. It becomes self-fulfilling. You prove yourself right every single day. There's also the compound effect of regret. Every day you don't work toward your goals, you build resentment. First, it's resentment toward yourself. Then it spreads. You resent people who are successful. You resent people who are hustling. You develop this victim mentality where the world is against you, when really, you're just not willing to do what it takes. And the saddest part, the gap between where you are and where you want to be doesn't stay the same. It gets bigger because other people are working, other people are growing, other people are leveling up. So while you're standing still, everyone else is sprinting past you. This is real, this is happening right now. And every single day you delay is another day you can never get back. Okay, so we've scared you straight. Now let's fix this, because understanding why you're lazy is the first step to stopping being lazy. And here's what neuroscience tells us about motivation and laziness. Your brain has something called the limbic system. This is the old brain, the primal brain, the survival brain. This brain does one thing really well. It tries to keep you alive and conserve energy. It wants you comfortable. It wants you safe. It wants you to use the least amount of calories possible. This is why you're lazy. Your limbic system is winning. On the other hand, you have your prefrontal cortex. This is the new brain, the conscious brain, the ambitious brain. This brain knows you have dreams. It knows what you want to become. It knows you need to work, but here's the problem. The prefrontal cortex is the weakest part of your brain. It's fragile. It's easily tired. It's the first thing to shut down when you're stressed, hungry, or tired. This is why motivation is a terrible strategy for success. Motivation is like a muscle controlled by your prefrontal cortex. And if you're relying on it to get you through, you're going to fail. Because motivation is the most unreliable thing in the universe. Some days you wake up pumped. Other days you wake up dead inside. You can't build a life on something this unstable. What you need instead is something called implementation intention. This is a psychological hack where you create an if-then plan. If I wake up, then I immediately drink water and take a cold shower. If I finish my cold shower, then I immediately sit down and work for 30 minutes. These aren't decisions. They're just automatic sequences. When you create these sequences, you're no longer relying on motivation or willpower. You're relying on habit, and habit is controlled by a different part of your brain, the basal ganglia. This part of your brain doesn't get tired. It doesn't need motivation. It just executes. Once a habit is locked in, your brain can run it on autopilot, even when your prefrontal cortex is exhausted. Here's another neuroscience hack, something called temptation bundling. Your brain has a dopamine system. Dopamine isn't the feel-good chemical, it's the anticipation chemical. It's what makes you want things. And the interesting thing is, you can hack this system. If you pair something you need to do but don't want to do with something you genuinely enjoy, you can trick your brain into wanting the hard thing. For example, instead of going to the gym when you're already exhausted and unmotivated, you listen to a podcast you absolutely love during your workout. Now your brain isn't focused on the pain of exercise, it's focused on the pleasure of the podcast. You're hijacking your dopamine system. Another hack is something called commitment devices. This is where you make a public promise or create financial consequences for not taking action. Your brain treats public commitments seriously. Your brain also treats money seriously. So if you say publicly, I'm going to write 1,000 words every single day, and you put $100 on it, meaning you lose $100 if you don't do it, suddenly your lazy brain starts cooperating. Because now it's not just about motivation, it's about losing something valuable. The last hack I'll share is called temptation resistance. And most people try to use willpower to resist temptation. I'm not going to scroll TikTok, but this is exhausting. Instead, you remove the temptation entirely. You delete the apps, you give your phone to someone else, you work in a place without Wi-Fi. You're not relying on willpower. You're relying on design. You're making it physically impossible to be lazy. Now, here's a practical system I want you to implement starting today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next month, today. This is called the 30-day Laziness Destroyer, and it's specifically designed for ambitious people who struggle with execution. Day 1-5. The baseline phase, the first 5 days. You're just going to observe yourself. No judgment. No pressure. You're going to track 3 things. When you feel most lazy, what triggers your laziness, and what you're doing right before you get lazy. Most people think laziness just happens randomly. It doesn't. It's triggered. Maybe it's triggered by checking your email and seeing 50 messages. Maybe it's triggered by starting a task and immediately encountering resistance. Maybe it's triggered by being hungry or tired. You need to know your specific triggers. During these first 5 days, don't try to fix anything, just observe. Write it down because you can't solve a problem you don't understand. Day 6-10, the identity shift starting on day 6. I want you to do something powerful. Every morning, before you do anything else, I want you to say this out loud. I am someone who takes action. I am someone who does hard things. I am someone who follows through. This isn't fluff. This is identity reprogramming. Remember earlier when we talked about negative identity, how you've been telling yourself, I'm lazy. We're going to flip that. You're going to tell yourself, I'm an action taker. And your brain will eventually believe you. But here's the key, you can't just say the affirmation and then go back to bed. You have to immediately take a small action. It could be 5 push-ups. It could be drinking a full glass of water. It could be making your bed. It could be texting a friend, something, anything. But you need to bridge the gap between the affirmation and reality. Because your brain is skeptical, it needs evidence that this new identity is real. Day 11-15, the micro commitment phase. Now we're going to start with actual work. But here's the thing, we're not going to do big things. We're going to do tiny things. This is crucial because your ambitious brain wants to do everything at once, and then you get overwhelmed and lazy. Instead, I want you to identify your most important goal, your one big thing, the thing that would change your life if you actually did it. Now I want you to break it into the smallest possible daily action, not 1,000 words per day. That's too much for someone who's been lazy. How about 50 words per day, or even 30, not a 1-hour workout? How about 10 minutes, just 10 minutes of actual movement? Not learn Spanish. How about 5 minutes of Duolingo per day? The whole point is to make it so easy that your lazy brain has zero excuse. You're not trying to build momentum, you're trying to build consistency, because consistency beats intensity every single time. During this phase, I also want you to implement what's called implementation intention. Before bed, you're going to write down, tomorrow, right after I trigger, I will specific action. Tomorrow, right after I drink my morning coffee, I will write 30 words toward my book. Tomorrow, right after I get home from work, I will do a 10-minute workout. When you create these if-then statements, you're removing the decision making from the equation. Your brain knows exactly what to do, and it just executes. Day 16-20. The friction reduction phase. Now we're going to make it physically impossible to be lazy. I want you to audit your environment. What makes it hard to do the things you want to do? What friction exists? Maybe it's that you want to work on your business, but your laptop is in another room. Solution: set it up in your bedroom or living room the night before. Maybe it's that you want to exercise, but your gym is across town and it's cold. Solution: buy resistance bands and do bodyweight exercises at home. Zero friction. Maybe it's that you want to write, but your phone keeps buzzing. Solution: put it in another room. Better yet, give it to someone else. Your job during this phase is to identify every piece of friction and remove it. Make the lazy choice difficult and the ambitious choice easy. You're also going to create what's called a commitment contract. You're going to tell 3 people, your best friend, your family member, or an online accountability group, exactly what you're going to do and when you're going to report back. Now you've introduced social pressure, and humans respond to social pressure. Your brain does. You literally cannot be lazy because people are watching. Day 21-25. The momentum phase. By now, something amazing is happening. The tiny actions you've been taking are starting to feel like habits. They're not exhausting anymore. They're becoming automatic, and here's the beautiful part. Once something becomes automatic, you can upgrade it. Maybe you were writing 30 words per day and now it feels easy, so you bump it to 50. Maybe you were working out for 10 minutes and now you're crushing it, so you extend it to 15. You're not forcing yourself. The momentum is pulling you, but here's the psychology. You also feel proud. Your identity is starting to shift. People are starting to notice. You're following through on your promises. You're becoming reliable to yourself and to others, and that's when laziness loses its grip. During this phase, I want you to start celebrating wins. Not big wins, small wins. You did your daily action, celebrate. You resisted the urge to scroll social media, celebrate. You got up early, celebrate. You're rewiring your brain to associate action with dopamine, not comfort with dopamine. Day 26-30. The system lock-in phase. The final week, you're cementing everything. The habits are locked in. The identity is shifting. Now you're setting up the systems that will carry you forward for the next year. For the next decade, you're going to audit at everything you've done. What worked, what didn't, what made you want to take action. What made you want to quit? You're going to keep the stuff that worked and eliminate the stuff that didn't. You're also going to schedule your next 30-day iteration, because this isn't a one-time thing. This is a lifestyle. You're going to do this every month. Month 1, you build the habit of taking action. Month 2, you level up. Month 3, you level up again, and on day 30, I want you to pause and reflect. Look back at who you were on day 1. You were different then. You had the same ambitions, but you didn't have the execution. Now you have both. That's the difference between dreaming and building. That's the difference between wanting success and having success. Okay, so we've given you the system, but a system is only as good as the mindset behind it. And if you don't fix your mindset, you'll sabotage every system you ever use. So let's talk about the mindset shifts you need to make right now. Shift 1, from motivation, dependent to system. Dependent, stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days you have it, other days you don't, and that's perfectly normal. The mistake is thinking you needed to take action. You don't. Look at how professional athletes approach this. They don't show up to practice only when they feel motivated. They show up because it's on the schedule. They show up because they have a system. They show up because they've removed the decision. The same needs to be true for you. It's not I'll do it when I feel like it. It's I do it at this time, in this place, no matter how I feel. That's the shift. That's the mindset shift 2. From perfection to progress, ambitious people are often perfectionists, and perfectionism is the enemy of action. It keeps you stuck waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect mood. But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. There will never be perfect conditions. You'll never feel 100% ready. So you need to shift from perfection to progress. Progress isn't perfect. Progress is messy. Progress is done before it's ready. Progress is a 500-word blog post instead of the perfect 2,000-word masterpiece. Progress is a 20-minute workout instead of the perfect hour-long session. Ship it. Done is better than perfect. Because you can iterate on something that's done. You can't iterate on something that exists only in your head. Shift 3, from comparing to competing. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Seriously. Stop it. You're looking at people who are successful and thinking, they're so talented, I could never do that. What you're not seeing is the thousands of hours they put in. The failures, the rejections, the days they felt like quitting. You're only seeing the highlight reel. Instead of comparing, compete with yourself. Who were you yesterday? Can you be better today? Not better than someone else. Better than the person in the mirror. That's the only competition that matters. And the beautiful part, you can always win. You control that outcome. Shift 4, from outcome focused to process focused. Ambitious people obsess over outcomes. I want to make $100,000. I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to build $1 million business. These are good goals, but here's the problem. Outcomes are often outside your control. The market might crash. You might get injured. Bad luck might strike. If your entire motivation is tied to an outcome you can't control, you'll give up when things don't go according to plan. Instead, focus on the process. I will create content every single day. I will go to the gym 5 times per week. I will follow my sales system. These are in your control. These are 100% your responsibility. And here's the beautiful part. When you execute the process perfectly, the outcomes take care of themselves. But even if they don't, you can be proud because you did your part. Shift 5. From someday to today, this might be the most important shift. You've been saying someday for years. Someday you'll start that business. Someday you'll get in shape. Someday you'll learn that skill. Someday is a lie. Someday never comes. Someday is where dreams go to die. Today is the only day that matters, not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. What are you going to do today? That's the only question that matters, because today is your life. Tomorrow is your life too, but it's also tomorrow's today. So if you can't do it today, you're not going to do it tomorrow either. The shift is understanding that today is someday. Your future self is standing in this moment right now, begging you to take action, so do it for them. Shift 6, from motivation to discipline. This is crucial. Discipline is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it, especially when you don't want to do it. And here's what most people don't understand. Discipline isn't punishment. Discipline is love. Discipline is you loving yourself so much that you're willing to do hard things today for a better tomorrow. Discipline is saying no to the comfortable path because you love yourself too much to settle for mediocrity. Every time you choose to do the hard thing instead of the easy thing, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing your future. You're choosing the person you want to become. I want to be real with you about something. When you start implementing everything in this video, you're going to face obstacles. You're going to face resistance, and I want to prepare you for it because if you're not prepared, you'll quit. Obstacle 1. The resistance. When you start to change, something inside you is going to fight back. It's called the resistance. It's not laziness exactly. It's something deeper. It's fear. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, and some part of you is terrified. What if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself? What if you're not good enough? This resistance will manifest as suddenly feeling tired, suddenly finding reasons to delay, suddenly thinking, maybe I'm not really that ambitious after all. This is normal. This is expected. The fact that you're feeling resistance means you're doing something real. But here's the key. You don't have to eliminate the resistance. You just have to move through it. You acknowledge it. You say, I see you, resistance, I'm doing it anyway. And you take the action despite the fear. That's courage. That's growth. Obstacle 2. The relapse. You're going to have days where you fall back into laziness. You're going to miss workouts. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to binge social media for 3 hours when you meant to work. This is normal. This is expected. This is part of the process. The key is what you do after the relapse. Some people will spiral. Well, I messed up. Might as well give up. Don't be that person. Instead, treat it as a data point. Okay, I relapsed. Why? Was I hungry? Was I tired? Was I not prepared? Learn from it, adjust your system, and start again the next day. One day of relapse doesn't undo your progress. One day of procrastination doesn't make you lazy again. But 10 days of giving up after one relapse will definitely make you lazy again. So be compassionate with yourself, but stay committed to the system. Obstacle 3. The plateau. After a few weeks, the momentum will start to wear off. The novelty is gone. It's not exciting anymore. You're not getting that dopamine hit of trying something new. You're in the slog. This is where most people quit. They think they're not making progress because progress isn't as exciting as it used to be. But here's the truth. The plateau is progress. The plateau is where real change happens. You're not building mountains. You're building foundations, deep, solid, immovable foundations. You have to stick with it through the plateau. Because on the other side of the plateau is breakthrough. Obstacle 4, the comparison trap. Again, as you start to implement this, you're going to see other people moving faster than you. People who started their business after you but are already ahead. People who got fit faster, people who seem to have it all figured out. And your brain will tell you that you're doing something wrong. You're not. Everyone's timeline is different. Everyone's starting point is different. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. That's it. That's the only comparison that matters. Let's zoom out for a second. Let's talk about what happens if you actually do this. Let's talk about the future if you stick with it. 1 year from now, you're not going to recognize yourself. Not physically, necessarily. I mean mentally. You're going to have a completely different identity. You're going to be someone who takes action. You're going to be someone who follows through. You're going to be someone who does what they say they're going to do. People are going to notice. Your friends are going to ask, what's different about you? Your family is going to be proud. Your partner is going to feel attracted to you again because you've got ambition plus execution, which is a powerful combination. But more importantly, you're going to notice. You're going to look back and think, I can't believe I used to think I couldn't do this. You're going to realize that laziness was just a habit. And habits can be broken, identities can be changed, lives can be transformed. 5 years from now, if you stay consistent, you're going to be operating at a completely different level. The person you see online succeeding, that could be you. The person you're jealous of, that could be your identity. You could be the person someone else is watching, thinking, I wish I had their discipline. But here's the thing, none of it is luck. None of it is talent. It's just consistency. It's just showing up every single day and doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. And the beautiful part, everyone can do this. There's no special requirement. You don't have to be born into wealth. You don't have to have perfect genetics. You don't have to be naturally talented. You just have to be willing to do the work. You just have to be willing to push through the discomfort. So which version of your future are you going to create? The version where you're still stuck in the laziness loop, still dreaming, still stuck at the same level, or the version where you're thriving, where you're proud of yourself, where you're living the life you actually want? That choice is being made right now, in this moment, by you. Okay, so here's what I want you to do right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel more motivated. Right now, don't overthink it. Take action on one small thing. That's it. One small action. It could be write down your biggest goal in a notebook. Delete social media from your phone. Sign up for a gym. Open a blank document and write 50 words toward your book. Do 10 push-ups. Call someone you need to reconnect with. Drink a full glass of water. Something, anything. Take one action right now, because the difference between people who succeed and people who don't isn't knowledge. You now have all the knowledge you need. The difference is action. People who succeed take action despite their doubts. People who fail wait until all their doubts are gone. Guess what? Your doubts will never go away. You just have to move forward anyway. So pause this video, take your action. Come back when you're done. I'll wait. Welcome back. How did it feel? Did you take action? Because if you did, that's the moment everything changed. That's the moment you became someone who takes action instead of someone who talks about taking action. If you didn't, that's okay, but I want you to know something. This laziness you're feeling, it's not permanent. It's not who you are, it's just a habit, and habits can be changed. You have the power, you always have. You just needed someone to show you how. You needed someone to give you permission. So here it is, you have permission. Go create the life you actually want. You've got this. Thank you for watching.